Well, guys, we were watching the game from here, but we now welcome on our men's lacrosse beat reporter, Nick Luttrell, who was at the game. He joins us live from the Carrier Dome. Nick, first off, I got to say, not surprised you're wearing black, given that this felt a lot like a funeral for SU's 2022 season. Now, we just mentioned it. Bobby Gavin got pulled just under halfway into the first quarter. What did you see out of him this afternoon?
Well, John, obviously he wasn't on his A game, and that was a problem. And obviously your hands have to be quick when you're being a goalie to stop those balls from coming into the goal. But I think a big reason why Coach Gate made that change and put in Harrison Thompson was because of a little bit of momentum's sake. We talked with him afterwards at the press conference, and he said he felt like Syracuse energy level was down in the first quarter. And I think that's how it's been throughout the whole season. They haven't played great in the first quarter. And when Gary Gate makes changes with goalies, it's not really because of their skill level, because we've seen they're kind of equally skilled. It's more because he's trying to change momentum. At that time, Syracuse was down 5-1. So it was really for momentum's sake that he went with Harrison Thompson for the rest of the game, I think.
Nick, just like you said, Syracuse down early once again. When did this game get out of reach? What was the morale looking like on the sideline? Really, when did you know that this game was over?
Well, obviously at halftime, it kind of seemed over. But really, I think the biggest part was about midway through the third quarter. Pete LaSala, he had the Fogo. I mean, John, you were talking about it earlier. A Fogo scored in the first half, and then LaSala scored in the second half. If people don't know much about lacrosse, Fogos aren't supposed to score that often, and 2-in-1 game is pretty rare. So when that happened, UVA went up 16-8. It was a 4-0 run. Really, Syracuse could never come back from that. But honestly, the effort was there from Syracuse the entire game. Coach Gate talks about that always, how the effort is there until like the end of the game. And I do agree with that. I think the effort was there, but obviously execution was not.
Hey, Nick, big fan of your work. Jackson Burtwistle today, obviously very late in the season, but as a redshirt freshman, had 5 goals in this one. Could he be a potential star for Syracuse going forward in the season and beyond?
Yeah, I do think he does have the potential to be a starter. But let's think about that before we get saying he's a starter for next year. Let's think about who's going to be at the tack position next year. Tucker Dordevic is going to be back. Then you have Owen Hiltz, also going to be back from injury. And then you have this guy named Joey Spallina, the #1 recruit coming into Syracuse. That's going to come into the Dome and wear the number 22. So it's hard to put Jackson Burtwistle along with those 3 talented attackmen. I do think he will spend time playing next year. But just because he's done good in the past few games doesn't mean he's going to possibly get that starting attack position next season.
Future looking bright. Maybe Jackson Burtwistle a part of that. Nick Luttrell holding down the fort from the Carrier Dome. Thanks so much for joining us on Orange Press Pass. You can catch his video recap on Twitter @NickLuty or maybe @NoContextCitrus. Who knows? But